everybody, and my name is Truong. Welcome back to my channel. Now because I have some extra free time, I am going to teach you another short vowel sound. You pronounce it up. The short vowel sound up, up, up. Now you will repeat after me after each word. Remember, I'll read it slowly so you could know the short vowel sound. First word, but. But has two meanings. The first meaning of but means that like your bottom. But the second meaning of but is like I can go to the music class, but I can't go swimming. Just like that, we have the word but. Every time before we use the word but, we need this. But, repeat after me. But. Now one. Now one. If you look at WON, you might think it as one. But actually it's one. One means like if you're at a competition and then you win the lottery, you win a card. Or if you exercise enough and you win a weight from the gym. Just like that. I actually have two weights for exercising. Now lunch. Now, what does a lunch mean? Well, for example, this piece of paper is our plate, okay? And then we put one piece of food on. We'll pretend these are scrambled. This pair of scissors is scrambled eggs, and the card is bacon. Now, this is lunch. You can eat scrambled eggs and a side of bacon for lunch. So that's what lunch means. Now, what about some? Well, some, like, and we have notebooks, then I will say I have some notebooks. Let's count down how many notebooks I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 notebooks. We'll learn about that in another full video. Now, do you understand of some? Like I have some paper. Working paper, of course. Or I have some earplugs. Now, earplugs is a special word. Some like 2 earplugs. This is actually this earplug used to cover your ears. When you listen to music, but you don't want anyone to hear it, you have some earplugs. Now, some we can use for 2 or more. But maybe you can use just a 30 or 40 or so. Now, what about slumped? Now, imagine my foot is here and I drop the feet onto my foot. Do not try this experiment at home. If you throw a weight down to your foot, the foot might be slumped. It means that it hurts a lot and that, the weight crashes down to your foot. That's what slump means. Slump. Now, do you know some other words that have the sound? You could say clumsy. What does clumsy mean? Well, clumsy means like tripping over things. Like if you have a weight and then you're running, trip over the weight. That's called clumsy. Clumsy means you keep tripping over things. Like if you trip over your cat's food, that's called clumsy. But now let's move on with the next word. Bus. This is a car. A bus is about this size if it's a toy. This is a toy car, Lamborghini. Now, bus. What is a bus? Well, imagine this piece of paper is a bus. And the weight is like 1 billion people. Now, 1 billion people board on the bus, and the bus went past the Lamborghini. So you can see the bus is so tall. If the Lamborghini is behind it, we could only see its wheels, of course. The bus's wheels are here, and here we can only see the Lamborghini's wheels. Now, you see, that was a bus mean. A bus means like a bus is like a big type thing. A big car. It's not really a car. It's about this size. Maybe 2 Lamborghinis are put on each other, and the length about 2 Lamborghinis, maybe 3. That's what a bus is. A bus is a big vehicle that carries many people. That's what the basic of bus is. The basic of bus is a big vehicle that carries many people. Now, up. Now, if you have a Lamborghini, or maybe you say a car, so it would be more believable, and then this is a ramp. You jump up the ramp, and up you go. Down you go. Up you go. Down you go. So for example, you're driving, and your new car, or maybe your Lamborghini, and then you zoom up the ramp and move on to a different lane. That's what up means. I jump up, but gravity pulls me down. Could you see? If we jump up, then the force of Earth is much more than the force to jump up. So gravity pulls me down like this. Try dropping a marker on the floor. Gravity pulls it down. Or maybe try dropping a piece of paper on the floor. It seems heavy to Earth, but to us, it's light. It doesn't need much force to pull the paper down to the ground. It doesn't need much force. But if you drop something big like this cord, it goes down to the ground really fast. Now, what is a rumble? Rumbled. Well, if you say rumbled, what does it mean? Well, rumbled means if you go over a rock, for example, or maybe a small pebble in your car, and then you hear a screech, but your car keeps moving. Then you look and see tiny pebbles, even smaller than the pebble you stepped on. That's how you crumble a pebble. Or if you have a snail, you get a hammer and hammer. Then the snail's shell is crumbled. Now, how do we pronounce and say the word? Rumble. Repeat after me. Rumbled. You say it. Rumbled. 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 When you say it, hold over a pair of scissors and your toy car. Rumbled. 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 So that's an example of the scissors rumbling the toy car. Or you could use it, say it in a different way. You get a marker and a car and say, rumbled, rumbled, rumbled. You hit carefully or maybe the car will break. Now, what about crumbs? Crumbs. Do you know the story of Hansel and Gretel? Well, Hansel crumbled his bread and made breadcrumbs. Then he left it on the way, but when he woke up, the birds and other animals ate the crumbled crumbs. 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 Now, what are crumbs? Crumbs are like tiny pieces of things. If you had hammer apple, it turns into apple crumbs. Or maybe hammer and apple juice spills everywhere. Because apple is a type of fruit. You can make apple juice. Now repeat after me with the word crumbs. 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 When you say it, get a piece of paper and do like this. Drop it in the floor. Get another piece of paper and do the same thing. Those are like crumbs of paper. Or if you want to make real crumbs, you could like tear off a little piece of paper, put it on the floor, another piece of paper, another piece of paper, until you reach the door. Then you look on the ground, find the crumbs, and walk back to the board. Just like that, if you're making this presentation. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many crumbs to the door? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 7 crumbs to the door. So you see, try tearing off a piece of paper. When you tear off a piece of paper, you could see that you drop it on the floor, another piece, until you reach the board. Then you follow the pieces back to your phone, follow the pieces back to the board, and let the fan blow them away. Now, for the next one called done, what does it mean? Well, imagine this toy car is a real car, and then the engine is broken. Then workers come to fix the car, and when they're all done, the car can move again. Means that the fixing is done. So that's what done means. If you don't understand my explanation, you go into the dictionary inside your phone or the book of dictionary so it could explain like more clearly. Because these are just short vowel sounds. Now repeat after me. Done, 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 done. Now you say it. When you say it, open the marker and close the marker. Done, done, done. Now you say it. Okay, you've said it 3 times so you could remember. Now let's move on to the next word. Mom. Mom. like your mom. Mum. Mum. Mum is like your mom. Now repeat after me. It's a really easy word. Mum. 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 When you say it, point at your mother. Mum. 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 Now you say it. Now what about cluck? Imagine you're a chicken. Cluck, 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 cluck. And you cluck. A chicken clucks. Clucks. Or if this is a C and an L, it is cluck. But if it's a D, it's duck. If you want to check it, take a picture and send it off to Google Translate. So it could say if it's duck or cluck. Now repeat after me. Cluck, cluck, cluck. When you say it, you say when you say cluck, cluck. You flap your wings, of course, like a chicken, of course. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Now you say it. Now, truck, truck. Well, a truck is even bigger than a bus and a car. A truck is about this size if it's a toy. And the Lamborghinis needs to be a little bit bigger to be in the city. Bring, bring, bring. So a truck is a big type of machinery that carries this thing. Carries things like bricks, logs, houses, mobile houses, and other stuff. Now repeat after me. When you say it, you get your marker and tap on your notebook. Say it. Truck, truck, truck. Now you say it. Now that you've practiced doing the word truck, let's move on with the word young. 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 If you're about as tall as 3 notebooks, you are young. Like this. If someone is tall as my arm, he or she is young. But if they're taller than me, he or she is called old. Now, what about rug? Rug. Rug. Well, a rug is like a type. A rug is actually a type of mat. Imagine socks are rugs. Now, if you step on a rug, then the rug will clean your feet. Rug. Rug. When you say it, drop a notebook onto the floor. Rug. And then stand on it. Rug. Then you say it. Stand on the notebook. Now, let's move on with the next word. Scrub. 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 Now what does scrub mean? If you scrub a table. Now repeat after me with the word scrub. 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 Now let's move on with the questions about our lesson for today. I'm gonna add a little question part so you could have more time with me. Now, brush. Now, hummed, jumped, and climbed. which one is not a short vowel sound? I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So did you guess the answer? The answer is climbed. It is the long vowel sound I, not the short vowel sound We'll learn about long vowel sounds in the next video when we talk about the long vowel sound A and A-E-I-O-U. Those are the vowels. And then for some of the next videos, I'm not going to keep this short, but I'm going to turn the short into long, like boot. A boot, like this big type of shoe that you wear on your feet, or maybe flu. A flu is a type of disease, like cold. We call it a flu or a cold. Doesn't matter as long as this is a type of disease. It doesn't matter if it's flu or cold. The good thing is that it is a type of disease, or Luke. Luke is a type of name, L-U-K-E. Or maybe cook. Cook. It's a long vowel sound U. But in the next video about vowel sounds, I am going to teach you about the long vowel sound A first tomorrow morning, afternoon, evening, or noon. So if you like this video about short vowel sounds, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash that like button so you can enjoy more of my videos about vowel sounds learning with Tommy. So see you in the next lesson about short vowel sounds. Ah represents for